OSHA is looking to put together a criteria where every business in this country with over 100 employees has to mandate vaccines. Do you believe that? Congressman Madison Cawthorn doesn't, out of North Carolina. Education and Labor Committees and Veterans Affairs is on his mind. Congressman, what do you think about these mandates, and what can you do in the minority?
Well, I'll tell you, when I think about these, I think this is completely un-American. We have the right of self-determination in this country, and that should be protected, and that should be the spirit of the law. Something that I want to make sure is getting out there, because a lot of people think the vaccine mandate has already come down. That's why you see so many business owners trying to enforce it. But really, all the Biden administration has done is release press releases. There is no executive order. There is no law. And so preemptively, my office and I have authored a bill to try and gut OSHA and prevent them from trying to enforce this unconstitutional mandate.
What do you think, what kind of, unless you get somebody on the other side of the aisle, it is just it's almost a position paper.
You know what? That's absolutely correct. We are working to try and get somebody from the other side of the aisle. But you know what, Brian? I don't know what Nancy Pelosi does to these people in the catacombs of the Capitol. But she either tortures them to keep them in line, or makes them take bad pictures of something so that she always has blackmail on them. Because they vote as a block in a monolith, and it's so difficult to get them to splinter. But I think this should be something that all Americans are in favor of, saying, hey, you do whatever you think is the right thing to do, because that's the American way.
I guess so. Congressman, right now, I know you're a rookie in there, but how frustrating is it to be in the minority, even though it's just a slight difference?
You know what, Brian, I'll tell you, the most frustrating thing is I can go on Fox News, I can go on your show and pontificate about all the problems that are going on in our country. I can give an impassioned floor speech, but the way our Constitution is set up, unless we have 51% of the vote, aside from launching investigations and messaging on something, Congress is virtually powerless. And so, Brian, I'm actually calling that our governors start stepping up. I mean, when you look at the border crisis that's going on, I'm sure a lot of people might be writing letters to the Biden administration, and then you see all these governors coming on national television saying, well, the Biden administration has not responded to our letter, as if they care. The governors of our border states need to go ahead and just say, hey, I'm going to call for 100,000 Americans to come down here, volunteer, put them under the command of the Texas Rangers, give them a pair of handcuffs, and then take every single one of these illegal criminal refugees who claim to be refugees who are here and fly them back to Port-au-Prince and say, you are not coming into our country. We're stopping this invasion now.
Here's what Rick Perry said, the former governor of Texas, about what's going on at the border, which we seem to be the only network that cares about it. Cut 28.
We've spent $3 billion. $3 billion since the first of the year in the state of Texas taxpayers' money, to go down and try to defend that border. Why don't we take some of that money and go hire every bus company that we can all across the country? And these people that are coming in, they've clearly said, that they're not going to follow our laws, and transport them to Wilmington, Delaware would be a good spot to start, all across those blue states that think it's a great idea to have open borders. I think after about a week of that, you would have an uprising across this country in Washington, D.C., and telling this president, go secure the border, Mr. President. I think it's going to take something drastic like that to really get this man's attention.
Do you agree?
You know what? Unsurprising, that is the position that Rick Perry has. I agree with him on almost everything he does. I think he's a great Republican. He's definitely not a rhino, and so I appreciate his thoughts there. But, this is exactly how I feel. When it comes to the idea of a government shutdown, some of our veterans will be incapable of getting their pension payments or the money that they're owed. But every member of Congress will still be getting their paychecks. And I think if we started holding the members of Congress and the members of the executive branch to the same standard because of the terrible decisions and disastrous decisions, like what's going on the southern border, and we started putting all of these refugees and these illegal immigrants in their hometown, in their backyard, I absolutely agree that they would stop this incursion right away.
So with these max mandates, we're seeing some of the ramifications. United Airlines is going to start with a mandate. They are going to fire 232 employees who have refused to get COVID vaccine. Good luck running Airlines stretched out already without 232 employees. Okay, let's see how much more that is. Southwest and American to abide by President Biden's vaccine mandate despite conflicting ban from the governor in Texas. They're going to go ahead with the mandates mysteriously. We saw what happened to Southwest over the weekend. This is a canary in the coal mine for what's going to be happening this fall. And if you see what's happening with the cops, right now they're in the NYPD, the commissioner is agreeing with the idiot mayor, and looking to do a vaccine mandate for the NYPD. Only 64% are vaccinated. Are we going to be living in a city minus thousands of officers? The same thing with Chicago. Same thing with Seattle. They're going to lose 20% of their already depleted police force. In Los Angeles, 895 city fire personnel. A majority of firefighters have signed an intent to sue the city, but they're going to quit in the meantime. They're supposed to get vaccinated by October 19th. Does anyone understand what's about to happen?
You know what, Brian? I'll tell you. I think this is absolutely what the American people should be doing. I think that we need to make it very clear that if we think we're going to take our country back and take the power back and give it back to we the people and think it's not going to cost us anything, I think we're kidding ourselves. The American people, I think, need to be ready to become slightly uncomfortable to live a long and prosperous life in a free land. Because I'm telling you, we the people have the power. You saw with Southwest Airlines and all of these all these pilots decided to walk away and to not abide by this vaccine mandate. Within 29 hours, the CEO is on the show saying, well, we're actually considering not enforcing that mandate. We the people have the power. Make them fire you. Make them get rid of you. Walk out on these people who want to enforce mandates. One, because it's really our patriotic duty, and I just think it's time that we call for a healthy dose of civil disobedience in our country.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out. Congressman Madison Cawthorn, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Great being on with you, Brian. See you, brother.
Yeah, we'll look forward to the bill.